Ibabalik po ang Republika. Ako po rin po si Eric Espina. Kausap po rin natin ngayon si Butch Valdes. Isa po siya sa mga conveners ng grupong Solidarity for Sovereignty. Kanina po, bago tayo mag-break, nag-iwan tayo ng mga dalawang katanungan. Unang-una dito, at babalik na rin ko na rin, yan ang una ko itatanong. Etong grupo na itinayo ninyo, Butch, no? Won't this end up to be sort of like an intellectual culture? Because we will end up probably debating among ourselves, and we will be probably right in our directions and our vision. Pero hindi ba natin naiiwanan yung masa? Kasi yung masa hindi nakatingin sa atin eh. And I think this in a sense might be also a reflection of what's happening in our society, because we have created, the intellectuals, the elite have created their own subcultures.
Yeah.
You know, we're confined to Starbucks.
Yeah. You're talking of present, and I precisely pinned that down as one of the major problems.
Okay.
For example, on economics, because economics is it's a real issue.
Of course.
And it includes politics. But economics, every time you ask some economists about the state of our economy, they're going to tell you about GDP, they're going to tell you about all kinds of statistics, and use words that they learned in the universities, knowing fully well that you are not educated in economics as they were. And in a way, this subliminal message given to you is,
I know you don't know. Yeah.
Shut up, don't ask me anymore. So it is actually to put you aside and let us run your life. And I, being in the private sector, I headed an accounting firm, which was pretty large at that time. We were about 800 people then.
Yes.
And would see this. And I didn't like the attitude that was being shown by these so-called intellectuals. Intellectuals from UP, even from LaSalle, and from Ateneo, and from University of Asia and Pacific. I didn't like that. I said, economics can be taught to the people. And as a matter of fact, they're the best gauge of how economy is doing. Because if they're hungry,
no statistics will do away with that.
What has happened, as you can see, is that the statistics we generate is totally disconnected with the quality of life of our people. You've got an increase in hunger rate of about 15 million families in the Philippines, and a 7.2% growth rate in your economy. It's disconnected. What is more real, the status of your people or the statistics that you manufacture? As a matter of fact, it's the only thing we manufacture right now, statistics. So, again, what we must do is to move towards that, to explain to the people. And you can do it, it can be done in very, very simple terms. But on the other hand, understanding that leadership requires that certain things be done as a leader. And when the people start feeling by articulating what you intend to do, they start knowing and feeling that you are intending to really save their lives. Whatever happens with the enemies of your sovereign nation. In other words, whatever the enemies do to you, you will stand up fighting for them. The people will feel it.
People say that it's called political will, but I say that the only way that any leader can have a political will is to have, first of all, moral ascendancy over the issues and over himself.
Exactly. Well, the other way of saying it, you must have the intellectual capacity to understand what the problem is. And the moral courage to implement what is right.
It's interesting, Butch, that you mentioned GDP, because I would have thought you would have preferred to mention GNP. Because it's more defensible when you use GNP.
No, but still, both are statistics. Again, this is what we mean by, where does that come from? We were talking earlier about the sad fate of our education. Because our sad fate, in very, very summarized form, we teach our children what to think, but not how to think. Right? If you learn how to think, then you will address the condition of life of your people.
Correct.
Right? But if you learn what to think, you'll start computing it, basing it on formulas to
Yes.
come up with the GDPs. Right?
Or a happy index.
Or a happy index, right?
Yes.
So that's the condition. Of course, we're aware that these ideas must be brought out to the view. Then the idea of this, media. What does media do? We must give the people what they want. What do they want? Wow, wow, we, or whatever else that.
It's
I said.
basically dance, crying, singing, performing.
Right. Okay. And we know that's not right for the people. It's not right for the young ones.
This is the Colosseum of ancient Rome.
That's right. No?
All we need to do is throw bread.
Bread and circuses,
That's
right?
it, yes.
So, and that's right before the collapse of the
yes.
Roman Empire. But you see, this is what we're doing. No? What we must do, what leadership must do. And leadership is not just government. It's the government, business, and the academe.
Yes, yes.
The academe is the most dangerous
Yes.
because it has the capacity to destroy the future.
Yes, yes.
If you give your people bullshit and don't teach them how to think, no,
They're supposed to rock the cradle. Yeah.
then your society will die eventually. No. So this is the three areas of leadership. We must be able to bring up the people to understand what are the principal issues. What is it to be a Filipino? What does it mean to think of the next generation? No? What is our role, no, to see to it that the next generation has a better quality of life than us?
If I join Solidarity for Sovereignty, what are your tenets? And based upon your tenets, how optimistic are you under the new Aquino government?
Well, what I'm optimistic about is that these ideas are going to spread to our people. In difficult times, as the way we have it now, and what we anticipate to be even more difficult times, no? The only thing that is going to mean anything to the people are these ideas, the right ideas, the thinking in the level of the sublime, no? Thinking in terms of future, in terms of collaboration with each other, in terms of being responsible for the other, no? rather than destroying the other so that I succeed. No? That is a destruction of your society. But if you think along nationhood, no? Seeing to it that we have a responsibility to continue as a society, no? That I am optimistic about. We may find the situation where a lot of chaos, maybe anarchy will step in because people are getting poor and they will die, kakapit sa patalim.
They're saying 3 million unemployed and about 7 to 8 million underemployed Filipinos.